folks, AJ here. I hope you're doing super duper well. So today I am going to be reviewing and reacting to a few clips of With Love, Meghan, the Netflix series that everyone's talking about at the moment, and not in a good way. There's been awful reviews. I think most of the reviews are absolutely dire. But yeah, I've already covered episode 1, so I don't want to put me or you through that again. So today I will be looking at episodes 2 to 4. And yeah, it might be a little bit higgledy-piggledy because I've got a lot of little clips that I want to react to, but also I'm going to review the series. Okay, so we'll see how it goes. If you haven't already, please do like and subscribe. It helps me grow my channel. And yeah, let's begin. Okay, so starting with episode 2, welcome to the party. So in this episode, Meghan is joined by Mindy Kaling and they plan a kid-friendly tea party in the garden, but with no kids. Yeah, you heard me. So even after they've done everything, you know, they spent all day, maybe 2 days, I don't know, was it 1 day, 2 days? Who cares? They end up in the garden under the balloon arch with all of these, you know, a big array of like sandwiches and crudities and champagne. Was it champagne or rosé with some nectar in it? But yeah, no kids. So they go to all this effort and no kids enjoy it, which I find incredulous. Yeah. So they make these little crudities with flowers, I think it's nasturtiums. My mum always grew these in the garden and she would just like throw them on top of a salad to make it look pretty. So yeah, this has been done by lots of people, but Meghan really goes anal on the crudities with these little nasturtiums, like, you know, cutting them apart and making them into little flowers, and Mindy comes up with a wonderful butterfly and it's all just so wonderful. But it's too much for me. I felt very sick watching this. It made me think, if Meghan and Harry call themselves humanitarians, where do they find the time to be a humanitarian when you're like, you know, it's going to so much effort to make something look so pretty? It's too much. It's it's way too much. I've got friends who are millionaires. I go to their house, they've got lovely food, of course, they get the best cuts of meat and they have like wonderful food, but they just chuck everything on a platter and it's so effortless. And to me, like, Meghan is trying too hard, you know, and this is what makes me feel really sick. And I was going to watch the whole thing, but I couldn't bring myself to. I kept forwarding, you know, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. When is this going to end? So yeah, okay, so episode 2, I have a little clip for you, which we will look at next.
To make a little ladybug, Christine. And he said, oh, with the ladybird. And I said, no, ladybug.
She's like looking at her like, oh, did you have an argument about this?
In the UK, they don't call them ladybugs. Ladybugs are called ladybirds. Yes.
Look how annoyed Meghan looks that Harry called a ladybird a ladybird. I'm British too, I call it a ladybird.
I've always found that confusing.
Yes.
And no offense, this isn't a situation where I think we're correct stateside.
We're correct.
It's not a bird. Get a bug.
It's not a bird, it's a bug.
Say it right. You know?
Say it right. Actually, I've not got anything against Mindy. I think, you know, as my son would say, she's sassy, and we love sassy people, you know, that's very sassy of her.
So these are going to be our ladybugs.
Yeah, she's like, I'll tell Harry how it is.
Get a bug, Harry. I'll tell it to his face.
I tell it to his face, she says. No, that is funny. Yeah, as my son would say, she's very sassy. I like this woman. But Meghan, she seems really annoyed about that. Like, yeah, and he called it a ladybird and it's a ladybug. Like, she seems like genuinely concerned about it. But anyway, I looked into the etymology of you know, I really love looking into the etymology of words, and I looked up ladybird. Apparently, the word originated in Britain, where the insects became known as our lady birds or the lady beetle. And by lady, they were referring to the Virgin Mary, Jesus's mother. And it wasn't until later when America and Canada started calling it the ladybug. So originally, the ladybird was called the ladybird. But anyway, let's not argue about this. I'm arguing with myself now, or with Meghan, and she'll never see this. But yeah, you know, it's just another thing that makes me think, you know, Meghan, she does not like the way we do things in Britain. Like, you know, when she talked about, I know I keep going back to it, but how Princess Catherine felt like it was jarring when she was hugging her. No, like, she has this weird view of British people, you know, like, she makes it out as if we're weird, you know, we call ladybugs ladybirds. But, you know, I'm very, you know, I love this about cultures, or, you know, different countries where we have different words for things. Like, I think we should embrace that. It's funny. It's not annoying. It's funny. Okay, so I'm very proud of myself that I got as far as watching episode 3 and episode 4. But I must admit, I did like flick through a little bit. But yeah, in episode 3, Chef Roy Choi comes in and joins Meghan, and they cook together in the kitchen that's not hers. They cook chicken. And the chicken, actually, to be fair, it looks really, really tasty. I love Korean food. But anyway, right from the get-go, Meghan is very open and honest that she wants to be like good friends with him. It's like, that's her plan. Like, she wants to get him in and become like really good friends. And he's very like open to that. And yeah, they just charm each other a lot. It's kind of cringy to watch. And Meghan, she just seems so relaxed around him. I think she's very good at making new friends. But when it comes to long-term relationships, is she good at establishing relationships? I don't know. It seems like Meghan, from what I've seen, like, I think she's very good at getting to know someone at the beginning. You know, first impressions, she'll put on a really good act, like, hey, I'm so charming, I'm so lovely, look at me, you want to be my friend. But it seems very needy as well, and a little bit desperate, which is really hard to watch. Like, I must admit, I ate so many bags of Frazzles watching this. Like, I've probably put on lots of weight, but I don't care. It helped me get through. But yeah, she has these, like, you know, please like me vibes all the way through episodes 1 to 4 that I've seen. It's very desperate and a little bit cringy. But it all changes when Roy Choi and Meghan start talking about dances and music, and Roy Choi says something about how he loves to listen to death metal or speed metal, something like that, and Meghan's whole demeanor changes. She's like, oh no, it's like it's like she cannot contain her emotions, and it's like all her hopes of being his like best friend, well, him being her best friend, are dashed. All her hopes are dashed. It's like, oh no, you're into speed metal, I can't be friends with you anymore. You know, it's so childish. It's like, oh my goodness, don't we live in a time where we can get on with people who like different types of music? Like, we don't have to like have all the same interests. Like, this is so childish. Yeah, tell me what you think. Now, folks, I really cannot believe I made it this far. So, episode 4, Delphina Figueres, the wife of Harry's polo friend, what's his name? She joins Meghan to make focaccia bread, and they take a hike in the mountains and have a little dance. But yeah, this woman, Delphina Figueres, she is absolutely stunning. Like, I think she has like supermodel vibes. Like, she reminds me a little bit of like Claudia Schiffer. Like, I think she's absolutely stunning. She's very pretty, but good looking as well. She's very tall, amazing figure. and yeah, she's just absolutely stunning. But I think she comes onto the show like a little bit reluctantly, and in my view, it's like she's thinking, what am I doing here? Oh my God, like get me out of here. You know, these camera people around, they're cooking something, like, why am I here? And Meghan says something about how they met like 2 years ago, or maybe they were cooking something 2 years ago, some meat on the Barbie or something like that. I could be wrong. But yeah, she seems to, I think like after they go for the hike and then they have some alcohol, which seems to be like Meghan's way of like making guests happy. Like, just have some alcohol, come on, be my friend, have some champagne, have some beer. Once she's had all the alcohol and the food, and she's been charmed by Meghan, like 100% charmed the socks off by Meghan, then she reciprocates and she charms Meghan back, and she says something like, oh, it was so great to see you. You know, this is you, the real you. It's like she's been brainwashed by Meghan. But seriously, folks, I honestly feel like I'm going to be sick if I watch any more episodes today. So I'm going to leave it for another day. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for being here, sending you a big kiss. And I hope to see you again soon. Bye.